Mini Miner, what are you thinking of these teams continuously, well, starting to, I guess, increasingly use the Typhoon Blade within the boxes?
Yeah, that seems to be a real prevalent thing that we saw yesterday as well. Of course, we talked about how difficult it is to get damage, particularly if you are a team that likes to play outside of the box. This is an item, this is an ability that you can use that gets you right inside of that box and allows you to stay and get above the Storm Surge threshold as well. It's just so much easier, Levin. There's a clip here from Sky, which we saw yesterday, and even this next clip just highlights how important it is. Look at this in the Freezy, 400 damage below. Quickly get inside the box, Typhoon Blade in, damage dealt, easy, now you're above the Storm Surge threshold. So that's something that I wasn't expecting yesterday, but saw so much of it.
Look, I don't have much to say other than teams are going to find these things, right, where they can get advantages. In these lobbies, it's so hard to go against the Typhoon Blade when someone's shing-shinging into your box. I heard the commentator say shing-shing more than I've heard it since Mongrel way back in the day, right? So, you know, that there was a lot of that happening, and I think we'll see even more of it today.
Well, guys, we have run out of time because we've got to shing over into Game 7, so let's head back to Takato and the best taco.
Thank you, Frankie. Look, there's a lot of metas, a lot of shinging, but what I'm focused on now is going into day 2, how these trios have prepared. We had so many third parties going on, so much danger in the early games. So what have these trios done to kind of adapt and change that strategy? I mean, time will tell, Taco, but I'm excited.
Everybody's had the opportunity, though, to go through yesterday's matches, check out what went right, what went wrong, and hopefully adapt, and we'll get to see just how that pans out in Game 7.
I've got my eyes on a couple locations. We have Seaport, where we've seen a lot of engagements in terms of Queasy's trio up against Momsy's trio. We've got Lost Lake, where we've got Cammy and Seti's trio in a difficult situation based on how it went for them in the off-spawn. But we're actually going to be looking at kind of a new off-spawn fight that we didn't see so much yesterday.
Yeah, big thing here at Shug and Solitude is that Teeny, Svi, and Hatris, they never really had a designated spot throughout the course of day 1. We saw them once or twice stepping at this engagement, but Ewick's gonna come out hot. He's not gonna give Teeny the opportunity to actually get that shield potion online. A big knock to start things off here. They're trying to fend their own territory, but Svi makes sure Ewick gets shut down.
The trade comes through now, back to a 2 versus 2. Skavi not even finished yet as he wants to find more. Haris is getting multiple angles as well, trying to just connect that singular pump shot needed, but Haris has to be careful. He gets cracked, he gets knocked down, leaving it all up to Skavi as he has 7 shots and a dream now, looking to see if he can come out on top in this 1 versus 2.
This would be so detrimental. You want to start things off on the right foot if you're a team that's already sitting in that 8th place position on the leaderboard post those 6 games from yesterday. That's the case here for Svi with that Typhoon Blade stand. He might be able to look for an escape, but instead he's going to wager it all on himself, but it's just too much firepower coming out of Unzone and Domtat. They're going to be able to defend Shogun Solitude, and this could be a moment here for Teeny and them to reconsider, but a lot of action taking place here at Seaport still with Queasy.
Ooh, okay. This is interesting. Merstash has already been eliminated, it seems. Swizzy and Queasy are left as a duo, and there's a few problems from this because even if they continue, you know, trying to make something happen here, they know the potential third parties that are going to come through. So the more time it takes, the riskier it gets. But having one of our top teams that were more successful in terms of the early game engagements at Seaport now going down so early, this is going to set them up for kind of a difficult recuperation that they're going to have to go through to come back from this game.
Yeah, but more on that later. We'll just have to revisit and hope that they've been able to bring Merstash back into this game, because right now the focus is entirely at Lost Lake. But one big shakeup here, Takata, is that we're not seeing Cammy, Seti, or Hari immediately battling up against Podesai's team. Instead, it's an entirely different trio. So many parties, I think, surrounding this area by Lost Lake kind of just recognized the fact yesterday, hey, why don't we just run over early to Lost Lake, where we know these two teams are going to be guaranteed fighting for what felt more like pride than anything else by the end of the day here, Takata. But it seems as though Cammy and Frostroki's teams have realized we're not trying to both suffer here simultaneously. Winning that off spawn doesn't necessarily mean you'll get to play out the match.
Yeah, I mean, we did also see 2 eliminations on Camiseti, so looks like they might have had it their way. Issue was the third party, but looking at picks, Darm, Demus, and a Bush here, it looks like they kind of are waiting for a rotate to come